Right. So in previous session, we discussed about how to create an application in context. Right. So in yesterday's session, we discussed about creating an application in service now. So as an example, we have taken a mobile point of sale system. At the same time, we can have even added whatever the data, right? So because we can create tables as on our own. At the same time, even we can add the details, right? So we can add the data, right? So all these things we can do it. At the same time, if you want to edit any kind of data and all, everything can be done over here. So in the last session, we have added the data. That is what something which normally we did. So not now what we can do, we can click on the submit, wherein when we are working on this application, whenever we are working on this application. So whatever the data was created, whatever the data we are updating over here. So whatever the data we have taken into consideration, whenever you want to implement all that, right? So whenever you want to implement this is where generally this data updation is one of the key and important element which has to be identified. At the same time, if you want to edit any kind of table or if you want to see any kind of preview or else everything, we can do it. Next, we have an option where we can add, for example, in the last session, we discussed about how to improve a spreadsheet. But now we're discussing about how to create a table. Okay, here you can see there is an option called creating a table, wherein we can do it, right? So create a new table, which I have created, table name, for example, invoice, no, inventory, for example, right? So inventory, stock, I can say, right, stock, right? So stock is what something which I have taken, which is an extensible one. Continue, right? So here we are giving this stock position to user to create, read and write. Even admin have a right to uh, delete. Okay, that's what something which we have taken over here. Next, click on continue. Yeah, so this is where generally this table was added, right? So whatever the required tables you want to add everything. So the tables can be added in this regard. So when there is any kind of table, if you want to add something of that sort, generally this table identification, everything we can do. So whenever we have done so far, wherein we have an option where we can publish it, right? So publishing, we need to publish, right? So we need to add the publishing on top. So if there is any kind of publishing you want to do it, we can do it. That is one thing which normally we have to do whenever we are working on the application. So, but there are some permission, there will be some restrictions because when we are using some trial versions, etc. Of course, there will be some restrictions in context to the uploading of data or something of that sort will be there. But otherwise, as far as the full versions itself is concerned, we have some facility over that. That is something which you need to know. Next, at the same time, if you want to add any kind of automated flow, right? For example, if you want to create any kind of automated flow, etc. So wherein we can create an automated flow, right, for mobile point of sale system, flow process which is to be created. So we can create a flow, right? So normally to create a flow, there will be some predefined templates or flow processes will be there. For example, when an incident is closed, post a message to the Twitter, right? That is one thing. Or send a notification to the workspace. Now, for example, this is what something which we have taken. Okay, send a notification to the workspace is what something which we have taken over here. So whenever you are clicking on it, so here you can see there is an option called begin, right? So you need to click on the table, whatever the table we have created. So the table we can take it. So for example, access role is what something which we have taken and all, and we can click on continue so that generally this templates and all everything is what's because if you want to select any kind of template or something of that sort, for example, email is a template we have taken. So we can click on the email template and we can continue further. So this is how generally building a flow or a template is what something which can be created using ServiceNow application. So that being into the role of a business analyst when we are going to create flows and all everything is required. At the same time, in some occasions, normally being into developer roles, even you may be required to create these things and all. or else admin role, right? So because irrespective of the kind of role itself is concerned, it is always important for us to learn about the flow processes and how these can be created. And this is what and how generally this flow process of flow templates and all everything will be created. And so that this can be connected to the external systems. For example, if you want to send to a Gmail account, okay, or else of any other requirement we have. So we can send it for that subsequently so that communication and as well as notification will be sent to that respective application. So this is what about the session is all about. And tomorrow we are going to discuss about data integration part from service. Okay, see you.